you're gonna encounter in no-gi jiu-jitsu, and this is mostly the stuff that you can use for fighting MMA. We're gonna go over some sequences. So the first sequence is gonna be takedown, pass, and then I want you to either choose side control, mount, or back position. Those three positions are going to be the most important, especially in MMA. The reason being is because out of side control, you're on the top, so you're going to be able to get the punches in when he's like defending his face, or pushing you away. It's going to give you access to submissions. When you go to the back now, this is like the highest position that you can get, to be honest, on the back, and there's very high success rates from the back, and also very good for MMA as well, because now you can punch him in the face from behind and you can't see track his arms and stuff like that. Let's just slow down, go over a simple takedown, a simple pass, and then I'm going to show you some options for side control. Go to the back, yeah? So, we're here, standing. Normally, the front foot that I have forward, just for purposes of showing you, I want you to have the same foot forward, yeah? Okay. Hands up, here. For MMA, you're going to be like this, right? We're going to be, the idea is that I need to be close enough so that I can reach his leg. I can't be too far, because when I shoot from too far, look how far away I am. Yeah. I'm already low to the floor, all you have to do is just score easy and it's done. In terms of MMA, I want to be able to be throwing punches, giving him some sort of distraction up here so that it frees the space down here. Okay? So just keep that in mind when you're in your matches, and there's this little thing to look out for, do you know what I mean? So we're just going to do a basic double leg. So push the hands out the way, I go down, my front knee goes forward. Whenever I come forward, I'm looking to get my knee in between this gap. So like where your legs are, this line, past it.
Okay. Right.
Okay? And you're going to see why now, because look, I go down, forward, and this push is what I'm looking for. Right. That little off balance, okay? So here, my hands cup around the back of the legs. With my outside leg, I'm using it like on the floor, it's not like this.
Right.
It's on the floor kind of like a kickstand so that I can push in, and it's going to give me more drive. For this sequence, the back end, I'm going to step forward like this and trip the leg kick, and I'm just going to push. Look now, I'm going to come to this position. This could be seen as like a half guard position, where you're here, like this in half guard, or it could be seen as a headquarters position, where you're here, like this. Okay. This is like a resting position, especially for like a lot of high level athletes. You're going to see them trying to pass the guard, and they get here, and this is their resting place. Right. A lot of the times they feel like you have less attacks from here, so then they have good control over the legs as well. So when you come down to the single leg, normally you're going to be like this, hovering over one leg. All I want you to do is go overhook the leg and put your head to the floor. When I put my head to the floor, I'm using it as a base so that I can swing my body to the other side. Okay, so I hook, and I'm also going on my toes as well. So I'm here, look, I go on my toes, I post my head, I use my hand. Okay, because if I don't use these things, you can just kick me over.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So we go for the takedown, I come here straight away, boom, my head and hand go to the floor. I'm on my tiptoes and I jump over this arm. This. You're going to come to here. Okay? Now, what I want us to do is put this knee under here and control the hips. When you control over the hips like this, it's going to give you a few options. The main option that I'm always looking for when I'm passing any guard from the top is to take the back. The other option would be is that I'm here controlling over the hips and that I manage to land at the side. Okay? From the side control, yes, you can go to the mount. That's why I was going to use these three options. So when we come to here, I control over the hips. My hand is going to go underneath the arm, like this. As I come close to the head, look, I'm gripping the shoulder and I'm pulling it in now. Right. This hand is still going to be on the hip. Now, when I move my legs around to side control, I'm going to shrug so that it exposes your back. Okay? I'm here, I move, shrug. When the arm comes out the way, I immediately get my seatbelt, put in my chest on top of this shoulder blade here. Okay. Why do I want to do that? because if I have it here like this, you're going to be able to get your arm back, and now I've lost my opportunity to control the fight. I've also lost the opportunity to take his back, which is like finishing point there and then. Do you know what I mean? So as soon as you shrug the arm out the way, you need to get really, really close, chest on the back of his shoulder blade like here, and I'm immediately getting my seatbelt on. Okay? The leg that's closest to his legs. Okay? I'm going to step over. Once I step over, for MMA purposes, you can go for the gift wrap. Perfect position. Look. Boom, boom, boom. You can also set up arm bars from here. Yeah?
Right.
But what I'm mainly looking for is the back control. So once I step my leg over, I don't need to have the arm, I can just have the seatbelt. But for this grip, it's going to force him over. Okay? I'm just going to show you using a regular seatbelt. Here, like this. And I'm going to fall to my opposite shoulder. Here. Once I get to the edge, you can see I already have one hook in.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of me putting the other hook in. When I put my other hook in, and then across my feet.
Okay.
And one thing that you should know is that as soon as you land here, this hand will be fighting the hook.
Yeah.
You see, so it will be fighting. At this point, I can come under and control right by the hand. This little hook here, stuff. My leg can come over the top. Now look, punches to the face, you can't really defend it. I can attack arms as well.
Yeah.
Okay? So, from the top. One quick takedown. Boom, look, my back leg comes in. I'm already cupping both legs when he's falling. As soon as I feel the break fall, I'm gonna go for my pass straight away, posting my hand in my head, and I'm popping up onto my toes like this. I'm never flat footed.
Right.
I'm always like this.
Your toes not laces.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as you land, I go boom, hop over, and I put my knee here, straight underneath, hugging the hips. Ideally, I want him to be facing away. That's the perfect scenario, because the path to the back is going to be easier. Okay, so that's always what I'm going to look for. I want you to do it now. Once you get past the legs, you can just come up with, if you want to go to the mount, stay in side control, work your thing, or go to the back. Yeah?
So, and it's
this knee down. Yeah, nice. Good. This leg is going to hook the back of my leg, and you're going to push with your shoulders and your hips forward.
that way.
You're going straight forward. There we go. Now you're going to push with your head and your hand. Come up onto your tiptoes and hop over.
To the left.
To your left, yeah. Good. Now put your right knee under my legs. Here, controlling over my hips. Over my hips like this. One. Then this hand's here. Really low. Good. This is a good position here. Now, with your left hand, when you walk around to side control, shrug this hand and make me look towards the window.
So, like that?
Yes, exactly. There you go. Look at my arm now.
Yeah.
Once my arm is over like this, you have a clear path to the back. So you can get your seatbelt, your right leg.
Seatbelt like that?
Seatbelt like this, exactly. Always armpit hand over the top.
Right.
Your leg that's closest to my leg is going to step over, right in front of my hips. Close this space here, fall to your shoulder, not your back. Okay, so don't move too far forward. Stay kind of like sitting on the back of your heel. Yeah, and now you're going to fall that way to your shoulder. Good, that's it. Once you get your hooks in, don't cross your feet because there's like nasty feet right there. If you are going to like have your feet together or cross them, bias your feet to one side. You can cross your feet like this. Right. And you can also triangle your legs too. Like this. Now I'm in a body triangle on stuff. From here you have my head and arm. You can go for punches to the face. You can choke me, and my arm is also isolated as well. Yeah. So all you have to do is step this over my head, boom, and you've got an easy finishing. Okay? Right. One more time. So that was side control to the back.
Yeah.
This time let's go for a mount. Okay? Good. Good. Yeah. Good control. Hop straight over. Nice. Once you get to here now, look, I want you to be assertive with these underhooks.
Right.
Don't let me get my underhook from here. Okay. Because now, especially if I get this underhook, this is my path to your back. With this hand, this is my path to isolating your arms and trying to recover my guard and framing away and stuff. This is not what you want. So once you come here, You close all these gaps here, you stay heavy with your head and on your tiptoes here. Now all you have to do is pass this knee over my knee to mount.
So what do you mean? What, just go?
Yeah, literally like that and walk your hands up. Exactly, here. Exactly. Once you come to the mount, I want you to keep your underhooks and walk your fingers all the way up here.
So...
Like literally just walk them up like this. Yeah, boom. Look at how my arms are stretched away from me now.
Right, yeah.
Walk your legs up. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Yeah, good. Now look, you have both arms to choose which one you want to armbar.
Right.
You see? So look how now you've isolated me. This is a high mount.
Right.
Okay? Not only are my arms separated from my body, which makes my structure weaker, it's harder for me to defend because my elbows are up.
Right.
Look at how I'm overextended here. So it's hard for me to defend because your hips are right where I need my block to be.
Right.
You see? So it's easy for you to start laying down bombs from the top.
Yeah.
You can like take my arm, step over the head, and go for the armbar. Exactly. And these are all perfect scenarios of how I'm just playing the game of jiu-jitsu, but it's exploiting your weaknesses.
Yeah.
It's making you, you know, do things that I want, which is like take the back from the top, get the choke, you know, make him stretch his arm so that he's giving me an armbar. All these things while he's defending. I don't want him to be attacking, playing his game, because then you're going to be defending to his, and it's harder to start doing takedowns when he's trying to take you. Do you know what I mean? So I'm always trying to be assertive, and I'm trying to lay down my game first. And the best way to do that is with like an open mind, you know, because the things that we drill in the gym, you can't always expect the same scenarios because people are going to scramble and not everyone's the same height, weight, and everyone has different experiences. So you need to have an open mind to the fact that it's not always going to, like takedowns for instance, you're not always going to land over the same leg. You know, you might land in the mount, you might land to the side control, you might land cupping the bottom of the leg, so you have to be prepared for that. And agility. Agility is also useful because if you know, once I've taken you down and your hip is on the floor and I'm up, you have to see it as a game of dominance. I have to assert as much dominance as I can so that you are inferior to me. That's basically what it is.
Right.
And doing this, we are using leverage, and especially with the legs, is your guard. And it's for people who know what they're doing. It's tricky for me to pass because the legs are flexible. Especially if your legs are on my hips. Whenever I move, you can move. You see what I mean? So it's hard for me to like do all of this stuff. You see what I'm saying? When you're here. So as soon as you lift the takedown, I'm straight away at least trying to pass the feet like this. I'm trying to pass the feet. Once the feet is out the way, he can only frame with his knees and his hands. Once he's framing with his knees and his hands, this is what I want, because now I can punch him, because he's not focusing on defending his face, because I'm threatening the guard pass. You see what I'm saying? So these are all little things that I need to look out for. I have to be quick when passing the guard, because I can't let him get any inch back. Once he has that space, now he can start using it to hold me down. He can get a little sweep. You get what I'm saying? Go to the back, whatever it is. So that one sequence is going to happen a lot, especially in no-gi, where you get taken down, and the person who gets taken down, of course, it's their job to never accept it, and to get and wrestle up straight away. That's why it's important to hit the guard pass straight away, because the continuous pressure of the sequence will cause gaps in his guard. You know, when I'm recovering this way, he'll be over here going to the back. Little things like that. So, the next scenario.
But do I have to try it one more time?
Yes, you can. 100%.
Just to try and get on the camera as well, so I can watch it how you say it. Like that.
Yeah. Good. Nice. Head down. Good. Just pop over the legs. Nice. Good. Controlling over the hips. Good. Stay heavy. Good. Now we can go to the back. Nice. Good. Stay tight. Nice. When you're here, you see how like your head is over mine. It's not a bad thing, but it's just a reminder of your base. Why is it not bad? Because from here, if I was to roll you over, it's giving you my back. See how it's giving you the back? But you need to understand, that it's not just going to be this position where your head over.
Right.
You see, so you have to be like biased over the centre of your body here.
Here.
So like sitting over your head. Yes, this is much better. Stay low, so like your head is here and not over here. Exactly. And now you can take it back down because now I can push you over this way. You know.
I'm leaning
And obviously because you're leaning backwards anyway, so there's no need to be all the way over here because you're going that way, you know. So all you have to do is just flop this knee and fall to that shoulder. Good. Good. Lock in the body triangles. Good. And you can hook this foot underneath my leg.
Right.
Now I'm trapped. Now it's hard for me to even take my leg out of here. Let alone escape.
And so from here, what I take this out and go for. How I take it out from here?
From here, you literally just gonna go one, and then pull this arm out, and go grab your bicep.
Right.
And this hand, stuff it behind my head, all the way. Yeah, here. Exactly. Now squeeze.
Right.
Obviously, before that, you're gonna have this seatbelt, so you have the chance to obviously go here. Keep the seatbelt grip, and I'm going to like circle my elbow over the head and then back, and I'm pushing my head away. Now the arm is available. All you have to do is just step this leg over, and the arm was there. Boom.
Right.
Perfect.
Very good. Very
Yeah?
good. Yeah, that's fantastic.
So the first sequence, take down, pass, get submission. That's your goal. Always on top. Especially from the fighting situation, if like you feel he's a better fighter, he's getting advantages in terms of like, you know, space, distance, striking, whatever it is, he's going for the takedowns and you feel threatened, you know. You might also feel like playing guard against this guy is going to be a bad thing. You know, he might have advantages on you, he might be better on top. So the best thing to do is to put him at his weakness, which will be on his back.
Right.
The reason why I pass side to side is because, let's say I pass, but you're framing, you're pushing your hands on me, like this, yeah. Well, you might be strong this side, maybe your strong hand is on top, which is the one that's keeping the distance away. So I have to move side to side because I have to exploit your weaknesses. Now, your hand is on the bottom, so you're not covering the top of my chest. So I just make you bench press my weight.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And it's a losing battle for you.
It's a losing battle because you're going to be here.
Just all your energy trying to
All your energy trying to hold the weight. And it's not just dead weight, it's pressure on top.
Yeah. Square
See? So,
fantastic.
sequence number 2. Technical stand-ups. I feel like, especially for MMA, you have to see that opportunity when you're on the bottom, especially when he's trying to pass. You'll be stuck in the head. Or maybe like he's just taking you down, he hasn't committed to the pass yet. Now would be a perfect time to like kick him away and stand up, because you might feel that being on bottom is going to be a loss for you. And this is important, you always have to press it up whenever you can, because it's going to dictate the morale of the match. You know, it's kind of like football. If I have the ball for the most of the match, I'm winning. You see what I mean? I have possession, I'm going to have more opportunities to strike. Same thing.
Right.
So you want to have that continuous flow, and you also need to understand that when he is flowing on top and playing his game, you have a chance and a small window to break that and get on top, and you have to use your advantages here. See? First scenario, open guard. Let's say we're going to do it from the takedown. Let's say you've taken me down, but you're not shadowing over my hips. You've just taken me down and you're kind of just like over me like this. Yeah? Take down, but you stay back. You're kind of like here. At any time I feel like you're not pressuring me and I'm not comfortable playing guard, I have to use frames. Frames is important because I can keep him away or I can bring you in. You see? In this case I don't want to bring you in, I want to bring you away. So what can I do? I can put my hand on the hips, on the knee, on the shoulder. Okay? On your chest. Wherever I feel like the pressure is coming the most. But I also need to remember that I have my hands as well. Okay? So what am I going to do? The back leg, the bottom leg, sorry, is going to be kicking. The top leg is going to be posting on the floor. I'm always hip escaping like this, trying to get space. I'm going to use my hand and come up on my elbow. Once I come up on my elbow, I'm just going to extend and come up to my hand and step back. Okay, so you've just taken me down. I'm trying to like free the space. I go 1, 2, 3. Okay, look how much distance I've created just by the little set, the shift back with my hips. Okay, so let's say that we're here. taking me down. Boom. Look. Straight away. Now I can continue to come back to the game because it's the space that I need. If he has all the space here, more than likely I'm not going to have enough leverage to be beating him up. I can still throw punches though. But he's going to have the advantage to take me down. Now I definitely can't throw punches from here. You see? So I should always be looking to stuff the head, come up to the top. You see? Whatever scenario. The first one is open guard like this. The second one is half guard. So I'm here like this. Drop this in. Here. Normally it's like in this situation where your hand is over the back of my head, but you're pressuring me here. What you're trying to do is squash my knee. Because I want my knee like this. Sorry, I want my knee like this as a shield.
Yeah.
Look how I'm using my frames here, like this. So you obviously want to be crushing my knee so that you've defeated one layer of my guard. Once I see this, now more than ever, the use of this frame here, controlling the cross face, is so important. It's important, why? Because no matter how much you try and close the distance, as long as my hands are here, in this right frame here, pressure in, you're not going to get close.
Yeah.
You see? And I really need to use this time now to like do the same thing. I can push off the shoulders and come up like this, and I'm back stepping my bottom leg, and I'm coming up into a combat base like this. Or his head is low like this. I'm still going to be framing with my arms here. Look how I'm pushing the arm away. But now I'm going to focus on the head, stuffing the head. Why? Because if the head is down, you're not going to be able to come forward. Because I'm pushing you back into yourself. See? So I'm pushing you away and I'm arching my back, like stretching out like this. Boom, here. You see? I come up on my elbow and I'm stuffing down straight into the floor. As I'm stuffing down, I'm taking his back leg out. Boom, here.
Yeah.
You're going to come into a situation where you might be here, off to the side a little bit, or you might be over the head, like this. Both situations, I want you to focus on getting control of your seatbelt, whatever that may be, like this, or like this, and either I'm staying heavy to the side over the hips, or I'm driving my shoulder straight into the base of your neck here. I can cut the tricep out. Look how I'm fully in space here. I can do this, or I can just go here. You see, either way, I want to be coming here, pressuring down like this, putting all my weight into you here. Because now you can't drive back into me, you see? Once I free up this elbow, I just drop my knee in. Boom, all the way in, and I get my seatbelt here. Okay?
And the seatbelt is what you're aiming for?
The seatbelt is what I'm aiming for. Why? Because it's going to allow me to stay on his back, on his back line. He's going to be wanting to get his back to the floor and turn into me and come back up. That's why you have to use the seatbelt plus the hooks. Because the hooks is going to allow, is not going to allow him to turn. And the seatbelt is going to keep you straight on the back. See what I'm saying? So you have to use both hooks and seatbelt. So yeah, scenario number one, you've just taken me down, and maybe you're too late to the securing of the hips, or maybe you just feel like you want to start playing far distance guard passing. Either way, as soon as I feel like I have enough space, look how I'm always off to the side, my bottom leg is the one I'm using. I kick away and push away with my hand. I'm just trying to sit up now, on my elbow. I have my elbow behind my shoulder, not in the same line. Because any resistance now, my elbow is going to fold. So my elbow has to be behind my shoulder, like a tent pole. You see what I'm saying? So it's like anchoring here. So when I come up onto my hand, my hand is behind my shoulder too. Okay? So it's at an angle, yeah? It's going to allow me to push forward. I'm pushing forward with through my shoulder into my hands and my feet as well. Look how my hips are off the floor. I'm not like this. I'll have no space to sit back. So I come up, push, here. Boom, take that one off. Or maybe he's going to come into you. You don't know what time it is. Okay?
Straight into the seatbelt.
Exactly, straight into the seatbelt. So two scenarios. Option number one, let's just say that, boom, I take you down. Here, but I'm still here. I haven't decided to control over the hips.
Right.
Maybe I'm trying to pass the guard. So look now, you're gonna bias your hips to one side now. And your hands are gonna be like in front here.
Yeah.
Exactly, good. Now, your bottom leg, kick with your hand. Here. Exactly, come up on your elbow. This foot is gonna be here on the floor, raising your hips up. Push, kick, and then step back. Good, yes, yes, there you go, exactly. Look how, I can't make it a few steps. It has to be one. So I can't go here, and then here, because I'm gonna fall over and he's gonna rush you. So it has to be like, this is why I lift my hips off the floor. My hips off the floor so that I can get my foot all the way back.
Right.
All the way, now I can stand it. And I'm already in my combat base so that I'm ready for anything. Okay? So, I'm just taking you down here. Come up, extend this foot. Extend. Yes, good. Pushing away as well. Your foot, raise your hips, exactly. Step your foot all the way back. Come up onto your hand also. Yes, there you go.
Right.
Now step your foot back. There you go, much better. Okay? So, that's from open guard. Scenario number 2 is where maybe I'm having trouble passing, whatever the situation may be. In no-gi, this situation of half guard is always is one of the most common situations that's going to happen. A lot of the time you're going to be here because people are often attacking legs, and there's always leg entanglements going on in no-gi. So we are here. And exactly the same way, look how you're using your frames here. When I pressure it down like this, I'm going to be controlling over your hips like this. Now, you're going to be using your hands, pressuring my shoulder away. This hand can come and post up on your hand the same way you did. And now I'm going to back step this leg, but come all the way up on your hand. Yes, and now you can either push me away and back step the leg. Yes, or come back. Or maybe I'm not so high up.
Right.
Maybe I've stayed down while you're like this. Because I'm going to be driving pressure into you, trying to catch this arm and make it fall. So maybe I'm driving down. So instead of like posting on the shoulder, you're going to be pushing my head all the way down like this, in like this angle, back into me.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And now you're going to do the same thing, back step the leg. Yeah. But look now, this is creating a situation where it's not just an open guard now. It's kind of a 70-30 because not only have you got up and stuck my head.
Yeah.
So now you have a clear spot to the back. Exactly. There you go. So, open guard. I've just taken you down. Boom. Here.
So it's
Right. Remember,
open
frames. Yes, good man. Yes, his foot on the floor. Good. The priority is stepping that foot back and creating this.
and this one quite far back, or is it alright just to?
No, I'm literally just stepping back like this. I don't want it to be super close because if we're both standing up now and my feet are close, I have no base.
No base,
Yeah, so you always want to be here where your foot is like shoulder width apart, then back.
Yeah.
And they're both facing forward.
Yeah.
You see, because now I can use.
Almost like a standing running stance on the.
Exactly. So let's do that again. Open guard, here, I take you down. You immediately, exactly. Good. Yes, better. Much better. One more time. Straight away, yes. Nice, good. Now we're standing again. Now it's a 50-50. You can start working your game and you're not pressured into defending.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times if you don't have confidence in your defense, then your attacking is off.
100%.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because you won't be as open-minded to say, yeah, let me throw that right hook. Let me fake that and go through. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you're going to be thinking, bro, he's going to clip me, he's going to take me down. And you see, so you have to be like in control of your emotions very much. In control of your emotions and have a clear sight of what you want to achieve from the situation. When you just look at it like that, I feel like it becomes really simple. You take the stress off it and it's not as anxiety based. You know, you're not focusing on him specifically, it's just you against you, so it's easier, do you know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about him. As long as you beat yourself, you could be anyone sort of thing. So there's things that I have to take this stuff in mind when I'm teaching what I'm teaching, because it's going to give you the mindset of, why am I doing this? When's the correct time to do this? You see what I'm saying? And the more we go over this situational stuff, especially when you say, yo, I had a fight the other day, that stuff that we did, maybe it didn't work, I need something else, or what you taught me, you get me, it worked, you know, so it's going to give you an idea of where to look for, you know, these little things to look for. Okay, so the next situation, half guard, yeah? So you're already going to be laying down for this one. This one, let's just say that we've been engaging for a while, he's been trying to damage your guard, and you've been successful at recovering, but he's also passed to an extent where it's a threat for you. I've passed one leg, so half of your guard is gone. You see? And I only have to pass half now. So it's less than a 50-50 situation now. I'm kind of pressuring you now. And this is also what I'm talking about when I say like your control of the fight. If you're playing to his game, like if I'm laying down like this and letting him pressure me into like passing and stuff, then like more than likely I'm never going to be able to showcase what I've been working on. And this is where agility and like your open-mindedness comes into it. You know? You can't like give up when you're in bad situations, because the person who wins the fight isn't necessarily the person who's like the strongest, the best, or the technical one. It's the one who has heart to not stop. And when you have that discipline and that mindset, you can beat anyone really, because like I said, it's just you against you. And especially with guard passing, it's the one who gives up first. Because you're going to be recovering just as much, if not more, as I'm trying to pass. You see? So like it becomes a situation where it's like a punch for punch thing. Whoever gets knocked out first, you know what I mean? I have to use enough technique and speed, if you're fast like me, to beat you. And if you give up at any little point, then I've created a gap where I can go 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. And it's the same situation here. And this is why I say like not to give in to fighting him, but just connect to something else. You see? Because when you're here stuck having trouble, more than likely what you're doing isn't working. And you either need to adjust it or move on to the next scenario, which would either be him passing or you shutting it down like this, and you exactly, and now you can pressure my back, which is the best scenario for you, and now I'm in the worst scenario. Can you see how the morale has changed now? Now I've gone from attacking you to you 90% have the submission now. This is like the best scenario for you. If you lose this position, more than likely you're not going to get it back. And also, he's aware of what you're doing now, so he's not going to perform in a way that allows you to take his back. You see? So once you get here, you have to make sure you stay here. The things that I'm using to make sure that I stay is my armpit hand is always on top. Always. Why? Because when I peel it off, now you still have a choking hand. You see? If this hand is on top, when I peel the choking hand off, you can't choke me because it's under here. You see what I'm saying? So always put the underhook hand on top. This is the one that I want to go for, the one that's on top. Boom. And you still have a hand to choke me. So if you keep the seatbelt tight, when you get here, you can like step this leg and peel my leg back. And then fall to your shoulder. Escape your hip back a little bit. Good. And throw this up here. Boom. Now you're taking the back. Go to the choke. In MMA, I feel like that's the way how you should fight. You either want to stand up, knock him out, or if it goes to the ground, the highest percentage is back take. You see? But even with gloves, it's hard to defend, and you know, these little details make a big difference in terms of how it's going to go in the ring or on the mat, whatever it may be, you know? So I'm always trying to implement my game and make sure that he's on the back foot defending, because when he's defending, he can't defend and attack at the same time. You know, it's gaps. It's his agility that's going to allow him to defend, and gaps in your guard that's going to allow him to attack. Do you get what I'm saying? Good. So, we've covered takedowns and how our mindset needs to be as soon as we hit the takedown. This is the perfect time to pressure the guard pass. You cannot take him down and then relax.
Right.
Because now he's got to recover his guard. He's going to be like, wow, his takedowns are good. You know what I mean? He's going to sweep you, get on top and do all these things. And like I said, the more you pressure from the takedown, he's going to be on the back foot from the takedown, so he can't defend the guard pass as well. And this is key. This is key to guard passing. You have to exploit that weakness. Then you can obviously go for the side, back, or mount. Another scenario is technical stand-ups. The ability to see that you're losing and switch the morale of the fight, or even it out. The next scenario we're going to work on is guard recovery. Let's say the first two situations didn't work out for you. You tried to take him down, maybe he sprawled on you and now he's took your back. Or he's passed your guard, got to the side control, or the mount. The first two situations is where you have the upper hand. The second situation is where he's pressuring you to the point where he's nearly got the upper hand, you switch the morale and come back. Right. Progressive. The third situation is where he has already passed your legs, he has already broke your guard, or he has already taken your back. And you're on the back foot now. You have to this is the time when you have to use everything you have smartly, not erratic. Now is the most important time to be calm and aware of your situation, aware of your body, your space, and also your partner as well, the things that he could be going for. Yeah. Like I showed you when you take back, you're going to have the seatbelt, the hand on top, you're going to be going for the choke, you're going to be tracking the arm. These are all things you need to look out for when someone's taking your back. Right. The more you also get put in these situations, let's say you get choked out from the back in sparring 3 times. Bring your camera, record it. Why did that happen? What happened when he passed my guard? Did he stabilize over the hips and go to the back? Or did he try and pass my guard and go to mount, but I didn't accept it and roll over? What happened? You want to see exactly where the tables turn. And this is a scenario where that's going to happen. The first situation, we're going to go for the worst one. I'd say joint top with the worst one. It's either mount or turtle, where he's fully over you and either on your chest or on your back. Both are in no-gi and MMA are equally as bad. So let's cover 2 scenarios here. The first one is where maybe it's been a takedown battle. Yeah. And I'm shooting, you're sprawling, right? So I'm going to be here in this position in the turtle. You're going to be on top. Now, whether you're off to the side, over my hips, or in front of me in a north-south, the same goal applies. I have to be very good with my hands. Because while you don't have your hooks in, my hips are free. And I need to use that to be able to change the line of where our backs sit. Right. If our backs are both matching like this, more than likely you're going to have your hooks in and your seatbelt and you'll be choking me out. Right. So I always want to look to be turning my back, however it may be, to a position where it's not where yours is, you know what I mean? I need to be able to use my hands so that this hand doesn't meet this hand, however it may be. Because if you get a seatbelt, you're not necessarily threatening the choke, but you're controlling my hips. Now I can't move and change where my back's going. Because you're keeping me close. You're going to be shutting down my legs, pulling me down, going to the back. So I have to be really onto the hand thing, straight away, boom, here. Maybe I can attack a Kimura, maybe I just push away and get my guard back. Whatever it may be. But as soon as he's threatening you and coming on top, I want to be defending my neck, mostly here, defending my neck and defending the hand that comes underneath. Okay, so look, now this hand is going to be, let's say you're going here, over the neck, and this hand's coming under. Look how this hand's already defending so that I can focus here. Now you're going to have to switch. You're going to have to walk to the other side and get your seat back here. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But now I can roll. Because you've moved and created the space. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? This is the point of the time where you have to be really calm. Because if you get frustrated or self-doubtful in any way, it's going to reveal it in the space that you leave and the things that you don't do. And I feel like lately, me personally, I've been focusing on people taking my back just so that I'm comfortable, because I'm a bit claustrophobic, I don't like that stuff. It's easy for me to, one, face my fear, in essence, and two, be comfortable in the adversities. Even when I'm getting pressured, I'm still staying calm, collected, and looking for the openings and the right sequences. And from the back, it is majorly important, because this is the time where if you mess up or if you slow down in terms of movement and closing your spaces here, he's gonna take over. He's gonna take over. It's gonna be like the black suit of Spider-Man when it takes over, and you know he comes evil. It's like one of them where he just like, his legs are gonna be on you, his arms are gonna be on you, you're gonna be suffocating, he's gonna be pressuring you down, it's gonna be hard to breathe. If it's MMA, it's gonna be hard to defend, you know what I mean? So from the turtle, from here, let's say you're over the front of me now. So like this. Normally it's gonna have one hand over the neck and one hand under here like this. You could have the same seatbelt grip, yeah? Or you could have like a chin strap where you're cupping my chin and this hand is on the back of my tricep and close this elbow to your hip, yeah, like this. And now you're opening this space, because now you have space to put your hooks in when you move around. You see what I'm saying? Exactly, you can just drop this knee in between my legs here. Now I can't close here. So now when you switch your hands over to a normal seatbelt, boom, you've already got the space that you need to put your hook in. You just have to replace it with that one. Right. You see what I'm saying? And these are the things that I don't want. So movement is key. What's going to happen when they take your back? More than likely, from you defending, you're either going to roll up to here, where like, let's say you're taking my back, but I've rolled out and you come to here. Scenario number one. Scenario number two is where like he's on your back, like this, and then you roll out, and then you're here, and you land in side control. These are both situations that you need to be aware of as well, because when you're rolling away, or like rolling to attack a submission or whatever it is, that's the more than likely scenario. You're going to be rolling out into this combat-based position, or you're going to be like on the bottom, he's going to be coming on top into side control or even the mount, because he has his hooks in. You see what I'm saying? And this is why the frames is important as well. For instance, let's say I'm here and I've done everything right and defended the seatbelt. If I'm defending the seatbelt, it's the same as me defending the crossface from half guard. You're going to have no control over the top half of my body, so that my bottom half can still move. You see? So in the same scenario that if you don't have the seatbelt, I can still move and recover my guard. You see? Yeah. So don't get panicked with the fact that he's passed the legs and he's broken your guard. You still have a chance to defend and change the morale of the match. However, if you do not complete that task of defending properly and doing all of that, more than likely when he takes your back, it's done. Okay. Because that position is like low risk, high reward. If you escape, more than likely he's going to be playing guard to sweep or on top to smash you anyway. So it's a win-win situation, however you look at it. Do you know what I mean? So that's turtle, right? Side control. Side control is one of them ones where a lot of people look for, because it's the thing that's next after passing the legs. And more than likely, a lot of people are weak when it comes to defending side control, because they're scared of the back exposure as well. So normally what happens is, let's say you pass my legs, I'll be defending with my frames like this, but also with my leg over the top here. Right. Why? Because if my leg is over the top, you haven't passed my legs. You look how you haven't passed yet. Yeah. You see what I mean? So you're gonna have to be like coming round like walking your legs all the way around to get past my leg. Look now, once you're past my leg, it's just a matter of claiming the side control or the knee on belly or whatever it is. So this is why it's a battle of like who gives up first. Because if you give up the guard pass, it's easy for me to recover, and then I can sweep and start taking you back.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is why I'm saying, like, be aware of the change, like the opportunity for him to change the pace of the game. And these things create like interesting matches because like it's a battle of like who wants it the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, side control. Let's say you pass my guard, you manage to beat my feet, or you land here. Boom, controlling my head and one hand underneath. Straight away, I want to be having both. I never want to hug him.
Right.
It might feel like, oh, he can't get up now because he can't punch me in the face now or whatever. But you're actually just helping him in the situation.
Right.
This is where he wants to be. So if you're holding him here, he can just chill. He has no obligation to go anywhere. What I want is to create unity with my hands in between our bodies. What does that look like? It looks like just getting one hand in front, whether it be that way or like swimming it in, and this hand in here, like over his shoulder. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to bump and go chest on chest. Now when I drop my chest, there's a gap for my hands to come in. So now obviously you're still going to be putting a little bit of pressure on, but I have this. Look at the gap in between our chest now. Option number one is we're framing like this. I'm going to use my feet, walk them up to my butt all the way, and I'm going to hip escape out. Boom. And now all the drive is going into my elbow and into the palms of my hands, blocking the shoulder away. But it's also coming to my elbow at the bottom as well, because this is going to track where your hips is going. If you push me over too much, my elbow is going to run into your hip. So I kind of can judge how my posture is and my base, depending on what part of your body is touching you. I always want to be facing you in side control. Always, always, always. I never want to be back on the floor or facing away. Right. Never. I always want to be facing towards. So once I create this unity, one, here, put pressure, here, and now I go again. I create a space. I come up with my underhook, look, and now look, I'm going to see my feet like this. I'm going to switch my feet and come up to my knees. At the same time, I'm shrugging with my arm. Okay? It's going to look like this. He's in side control. I come up, I get my space. I go underhook, and I'm coming up on my arm as well to switch my legs. Boom. Once I throw you out the way, I'm going straight for the hips or the seat belt here. Okay? That's option number one. Option number two, we create the same unity underneath. Look. Boom, here, in. Same again, look, I bump and I escape my hip. Now instead of my top hand coming in, I'm going to use my bottom hand and like place it on his hip line. Because I need to use it to push my legs away. Look how my legs are next to your feet. I walk them all the way around. Look how my shoulders go to the floor. I face away now. When I get to here, I'm going to do the same shoulder shrug and the same switch of my hips. And come up. If you roll over like that, even better for me. More than likely you're going to be here. Right. And you're going to come up to here. Now I can do the same thing. I can collapse the arm, take you down, front and back. You know, whatever it may be. So let's try that. Option number one. Get your arm up. And come up. Option number two, where you spin out and come up on top. Right. Okay, so I've got side control here. It's like you're praying.
So
like you're praying.
Was it one underneath like that, one underneath like that?
So you want, yeah, that. Boom. You want to come back. Exactly. Good. Facing me is good. Having your shoulders off the mat is good. Right. Yeah, you'll always hear your coach saying your shoulders off the mat, shoulders off the mat. And this is what he's referring to. Facing in, because now your frames are strong and you're creating a gap here. Option number one, you're going to go underhook here. When you shoot this hand up, it's kind of like you're doing this. Right. You want to switch your legs. Boom. And come up to your knees. Okay? Right. but all in one motion. So you shrug and switch. Good. And now look, you're gonna have, normally you might end up here in this dogfight position. All you're gonna do from here is go this hand to my feet, this hand to my knees. And fashion kick. Boom. Pass the guard. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to top it on again?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you do that way?
Yeah, turn around this way, so that you can see how you're doing it. Here,
So,
up your hips, get that space, underhook, straight away. Shrug, switch, nice. Good, exactly. Nice. And focus on always chaining to the next step. What's the next step after that?
is the hip control.
Is the hip control, but after you get the hip control or the seatbelt, what's the next?
I don't know.
So, think about what you're exposing. The seatbelt is used for what? Taking
The back.
taking the back. So that's going to be your next step
Okay.
when you're coming up. You see? So once you're coming in, once you're here like this, and you come up, boom. Look at how I pop my head out, and the only thing that I can see is the whole back.
Right.
That's what I'm going to be going for. That's why I have my seatbelt here, so that I can stay chest over you like this. Because I want to get our backs in the same line,
Right.
so that I can take it. You see? Now our backs are in the same line, our heads are in the same way, our feet are facing the same way.
Yeah.
This is what I want, okay? And that's going to be the next step for when you come out from there. So, create unity, good, space, underhook. That's it, over, straight to the back. Good, good. Now, what I will say is this, is when you're chasing the back, obviously you have a good grip over my top half, but when you jump over, come back this way, here. When you jump over, before you go like both legs over me like this, you should have one hook in. See? So when you was off to the side at the start, so come this way. So put your knees down like this. You've just taken my back, right? You've just shrugged me off here. The first thing you want to be looking for is placing this knee in the gap. No, not your foot, your knee. All the way in this gap. This is gonna be hook number one when you do your roll. Okay? Now you have your seatbelt. Now look, the seatbelt and this grip, this knee in the middle, when you jump over and put this hook in, is gonna allow you to stay on the back. If you don't have your hooks in when you're trying to take the back, you're gonna fall off. It's gonna be like this. You're gonna fall off like this. You have control of my upper body, but you have no control of my legs with your legs. So now I can just start backing out of the situation. You see? So, say it again. Here. Push off. Exactly. And you always want to be shoulders off the mat. Underhook heavy.
Right that way, and then
That's it. So underhook. Good. Switch your hips and shrug. That's it. Come up and get your seatbelt over the hips, or however it may be. Good. Here. Now, when you throw this hand over my shoulder and get your normal seatbelt, that's when you jump over with this leg. Boom. Hook number one. Roll it. Hook number two. And have your seatbelt and have your horse.
right.
Okay? So it's going to be a situation where you'll hear that I have my one knee in, and maybe I have like the body control. I always want to switch to the seatbelt here. Seatbelt, and I jump over with this knee. Obviously you're going to be rolling as well. So look, I have my top hook in, and I use that hook to bring you over so that I can get my second hook in. Now more than likely, remember I said to you before, you have to expect the next situation before you get there.
Right.
So I expect when I'm taking your back, you're going to have your knee up, like all the way up like this, and your elbow, defending the space so I can't put the hook in. You see? So what am I going to do? I'm going to keep my seatbelt strong. I want to be chest on chest and ear to ear like this. I have one hook across my feet, over the hip, like this. Okay? Over the hip, and I extend my back. See how it's freed the space for the hook?
Yeah.
Okay? Say it again. Side control.
Right, sorry.
Good. That's it.
With this hand?
You can go
this way and start pressuring the hand, but you need your legs involved.
Right.
When you've like done this, and you're pressuring my hand, what you're actually doing is like focusing all the thing on your hand, and you're actually like taking it off of me, because I can take it back now. Because you've biased all of your weight to the other side. You see what I'm saying? So, and obviously you're used to doing it one side as well, right? Okay, cool.
Right, so.
Right, that's it. Under hook. Good. Good. You see how you used it as a hook? You came up like this, but it needs to be like this.
I have to throw it.
Yeah, you can dash it. Yeah, man, throw it out of the way. Because you have to clear the space in the back. Yes. Yes, exactly. When you throw the hand out the way, what it actually does is opens this gap for the first hook.
Yeah, fine.
So when you put your seatbelt, you can just roll over, jump over, or pull me into you and take it back. Yeah? Perfect. Running over time. I've got time if you got time back instead.
Yeah, I've got time.
Cool. Okay, so let's do mount, and then we'll just see how you do in some sparring.
Okay.
In the sparring, we're going to be doing two scenarios. One, you're going to be attacking the pass, and I'm going to be recovering. Let's just say it's from a takedown, to ensure the urgency of the pass.
Okay.
Second scenario, you've been taken down. I'm passing your guard. Same urgency, same scenario, roles reversed. You're recovering your guard now. The aim for when you're recovering is framing good and always being face on to your opponent, legs in front. Whenever your legs are off to the side, he's more than likely passing your guard. If you're facing the other way, he's taking you back. Okay? So the last one we want to go over is the mount situation. Mount normally happens when he's been successful in one of the first three things that I showed you, in either the takedown or the guard pass. Okay? And this is also something you need to be aware of and be able to defend when that window of opportunity arises. And it's a situation where now, just like when he's taking your back, you have to explode. You have to explode and recover as much as you can. You also have to stay calm and not expose yourself to your emotions or the weaknesses of your body.
Yeah.
And what that looks like is staying strong and pressuring the right point, so that if he's in mount, I want to be hip escaping or pushing his hips off me. I'm not going to be holding him down and extending my arms crazy so that he has something to attack. Right? So, mount position. He's on top. First thing I want to look for, I never want to be back flat on the floor, but I never want to be too far over. When I'm too far over, I don't even have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. I take my own back for you. So it's like, but it has to be a happy medium where you're escaping and not giving in to the, because he wants you like this, back flat, exposed. But when my hands, look how I bring my elbow in straight away, and I'm using my hands together as unity. When my whole body is closer together and I'm using it as one, it's stronger than when I'm using just one by itself or two hands and they're not connected. So I use this to really push away. With my feet, I'm going to walk them up, because look how your feet are going to be here. If I have my feet all the way up like this but open, you're going to be able to like hook your feet under me, like this. Like, yeah, exactly. Now I'm stuck. Okay? So I want to like flatten one leg and pop one leg up. Like this. The leg that stays flat is the side that I'm going to turn to. So you know when we do our hip escapes, this is why we do it. Okay, so look, the leg that's bent, I'm going to walk it all the way up to my butt here. I'm not going to let you get your foot in between and start controlling. I need the bend in my leg to create this pressure where I'm pushing you off me, like this. Okay, so I have one leg down, I have one leg up. The leg that's down, I face it. I use my elbow and I push away off at the hips. Boom, like this. I recover my first leg. Here. Now we're in half guard. I've recovered half a guard. He has passed half a guard. I need a frame, the same thing, both my hands together, at the shoulder, using my elbow to keep the arm away. Or I can go 2-on-2 like this, using my elbow to free the space in his head. Because he's going to be pressuring you down, making your arm weak.
Right.
Okay, so you need to flare the elbow, but not expose too much. So flare it, like I use my hand like this.
Yeah.
Flare it and keep the forearm away at all times. Keep the forearm away, because if he controls your head, you're going to have less movement, and now you can't escape the situation. Okay, so I connect my knee to my elbow, and I'm here like this. Okay, I either come to here, or I recover to fall. Look how I have an open bar that can just come straight in, start sweeping. Or maybe when I'm recovering my guard from side control or mount, I feel like I don't want to be on the bottom movement, so I stuff the head and I come up. Okay? Let's work that one. So here, look, I'm going to be here. Put one leg on the floor. The leg that's on the floor, you're going to face that leg. The leg that's bent, bring it all the way in. Like you're walking your hands all the way up, but you're bringing your feet all the way up. You're going to use this foot to push off. You're going to be here like this, hands together, however you want. Elbow pressing in, elbow pressing in. The goal is to push my knee away so that you can bring your knee in. And now face this way. Okay? So that's what I want to be doing when we're hip escaping. Boom. Push this leg away. Push it down with your elbow. Yes. And bring your knee up. Bring that foot in. Exactly. Good. Now when you're here, you can't stay here, because now I'm going to have a clear path to your back. So you have to turn in and frame it. Exactly. You can either recover to full guard or stuff the head. I'm thinking for MMA purposes, stuff the head and come straight up on top.
So do I stay in half guard whilst I'm stuffing the head then, rather than trying to come out of it?
I'd be doing both at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be doing both. I'm definitely like stuffing his head and getting my knee up. Because if I stuff his head in front of the leg, he's going to be like attached to it.
Yeah.
More than likely, this is going to be the case where you're pushing the head and he's like, oh no, I'm falling down, I have to climb back up.
Yeah.
So when you're stuffing his head, he will be doing this, trying to do this.
Right.
Okay? But you just have to understand that he needs his head on this side to pass this way. You see? Because he has one leg here, he has to beat this knee and pass that one. My head needs to be here.
Yeah.
For me to pass this way. Or like this. You see? When my head is on the same side that I'm trying to pass, I can't get past because there's nothing for me to walk over, do you know what I mean? So my head needs to be on the other side. Knowing this, when he's passing this way, you have to stuff the head the same way that he's passing, because it will look like this. That's what it's going to look like. I'm running into myself. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's going to be easy for you to just backstep. Do whatever you need to do. Okay? Option number 2 from the mount. Same scenario, but you're going to be like over the top now. Here. I'm going to come here like this, and I'm using my hips. I'm not just pushing you away this time, I'm pushing you up. Like up. Straight up. This time I want both my feet up. All the way up like this. Okay? And I'm going to use it to like, use my hip up and then go with my hands as well. Okay? So I'm going like this. I can even like do this one. And get my feet in. All I need is the knee. Okay? The only problem is that when you go up like this, you're actually telling yourself to expose your hands. Okay? And I don't want you to get into bad habits of overreaching, because you will get armbarred quickly of someone who knows what they're doing. Okay, so I'm always keeping my hands in, like protecting my head. I'm like trying to go to the back or whatever it may be. I go hands in here like this, the same as we did first. Or we can just like cup his hips here. And I have to actually reach for his hips. His belly is not going to be enough because he'll still be able to drive his hips down. Okay, so I reach for the hips, and I go hips first and then hands. And I get both my knees in, like this. Once my knees are in, I cup the double underhooks, and I can either go over the head or off to the side. Like this. Okay? So let's try that. hands in, bring your knees closer up, and you're going to shoot your hips up and then push your hands. And get both your knees in. Boom, good. Here. Now look, you can just scoot to the side. Okay, now you've changed the morale in the match. This is what, going back to what I was saying earlier. Looking for these little exploitations and attacking it head on. When you play the defensive game, you won't be able to see this stuff.
Yeah.
This stuff won't be available to you. When you close off and just shut down, stalling, it's not going to work. So let's go over option number one again. Is where you just push the knee out and recover into half guard. So we're here, let's just say maybe I could either be up like this, or I could be down here also.
Right.
Okay?
Something like that.
Here, so just pressing the knee all the way down and bringing your knee out. Here, boom. Exactly. Getting your, so also this hand needs to be here,
Right.
across the face. Don't be scared to like dig it up in the neck, flare the elbow, because I want to be close. And the more I feel resistant, the more I'm not going to want to go there. So I'm going to give you your space. Now you can stand up. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a game of dominance.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're telling them, nah, I'm not on that. Here.
So, what's this?
That's it. Good. Good. And nice. Yes, this is what I want. This is what I want. You've created unity with your knee and your elbow here. Now this is a shield. I can't get past this shield, you know. Now you can also just like step this leg out, push me away. Okay? So it's a good thing that we brought the camera.
Yeah.
Because we covered
Quite a lot.
we covered 3 different scenarios. Hopefully it's in a way that you can understand it. And look back and be like, yeah, this is making sense to me. But I feel like, you know, basic kind of stuff is it stays with you for life. These things that you learn at day one as a white belt, people like me and Aaron and Kieran and Jermaine we use to this day.
Yeah.
Scissor sweeps, basic stuff. Those hip escape, that one when you push the knee off, that's me.
Yeah.
That's my game. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how I recover the guard. I wouldn't necessarily do the hips one because I feel like I haven't yet mastered my guard game yet. I'm still exploring that, you know? In terms of like guard passing, I feel a lot more comfortable. So let's do 1 5-minute round or 2 5-minute rounds, depending on how long you say whatever you want to do. And let's just explore what we've done in an actual, like a live round. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to be flowing and really like easy, not letting you do your thing, but you know, allowing the situation to happen. Exactly. Either way, you're passing and pressuring me, or I'm trying to pass and you're trying to recover.
Okay.
So which one do you feel like one you're not necessarily as good at? Both is equally shit. Very cool. So let's work on the recovery side. Let's assume the worst and say he's taken you down, you've got punches to the face, you're damaged, you're dizzy as well. He's nearly winning the fight. Now is the time to stay the most calm and collected and understand that it's simple steps that you have to take. May not be easy, but it's simple steps that you have to take, and it's very clear if you stay calm. And in this situation, it's just going to be framing and recovering. Okay? Just set this time off.
So you're going to shoot me down and then we'll go from there?
Yeah, so what's going to happen is I'm going to allow you to take you down.
Yeah.
As soon as your back hits the floor, it's goes on.
Right.
Okay? And it's going to be a 2-minute round. So you have 2 minutes, the last 2 minutes of the fight, to regain the situation. Okay? Okay. 3 seconds. Down, and then it goes. Remember, when I'm getting past, you're always aiming with your top. Good. This is good, this is good. Yeah, come up. Nice. Now look, underhook, head down, step over. Fast.
Right.
Okay. Again. Taking you down, let's go. See? Step. See? Good, nice. Cover. Go. Come up. Yes, take that. Boom. That's what I want to see. Exactly that. It has to be that situation where you change the balance, because if you're just recovering to recover,
Yeah.
it's like you're just doing this.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
One step forward, one step back. You have to step in a way where you're making him step back, in opposed to you stepping back. You see?
Yeah.
So, what did you feel like? What did you feel like the turning point was when you recovered your guard and it worked? What did you feel like you was doing to earn that recovery? Where was your hands? Where was your feet?
Yeah, so to be honest, John, I felt really overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But I felt like if I kept my feet on your hips at all times, it was making it difficult for both of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Rather than just me. When I hooked, I was just trying to find hooks regardless.
Yeah.
So whilst I'm on my back, I was trying to hook something.
This is good. Hooks is good because why? Hooks can be used, let's just say in basic scenario, we're here in open guard.
Yeah.
Your hooks can be used to either push, create space, or pull and close space. Exact to go for a sweep and take you down. Exactly. So your mind understands the role of what's happening, you know? It's just about tapping in and doing these drills.
Yeah.
And getting your body up to date.
Yeah.
That's what's going to help you overcome your fear, because basically that's what it is, of getting guard bars, which is good because you're understanding, if I keep my foot on his hips, I have distance now.
Yeah.
Now I can start working to do all of these things.
Yeah. Once I had my legs wrapped up in yours somehow, and I don't know what happened, but what I was trying to do was obviously trying to change the balance of the fight, and once I did that, and kind of my leg was over yours and your leg was up here, and you said step over, close chest, that's when I thought, it was only at that point I thought I was in control.
You're like, oh, okay, now
now I can see where it goes.
Now I can play my thing and he's defending to what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's
So it's not just noticing, it's not just seeing the change, it's feeling the change. Because you'll feel him change in terms of attacking you to like, oh, now I've got to defend.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So, next round, last round.
Yeah.
We're going to do you passing, me recovering.
Okay.
The goal for you is beat the feet, beat the knees, and go side to side. If I am matching your speed, you have to up it.
Right.
Not all the time, but you have to know when to up it. So you step quicker past the foot than you normally would, and then stabilise.
And is that the only way you pass the guard like that? Because
So it's not the
honest,
only way.
when I'm doing this, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to fling you as far that way.
It gets fast.
Yeah.
Right? You need to understand that it's going to be a game of whose hips are not in the right way first.
Right, so I'm trying to push your hips.
You're
off
trying to get the
setup.
legs out the way.
Right.
So now my hips are facing this way. You're trying to get my legs out the way
Yeah,
and land over the hips. The reason why I say about agility, speed and technique is because, especially in no-gi, there's a lot of scrambles expected.
You've got enough to hold on to.
Expect me teaching you something and you go into the gym and being like, we're only 80% went like that.
Yeah.
The other 20% was a different
Which
scramble.
is,
Because it gets like that. You have to be adaptable in that situation. And it's one of them ones where it can become a battle of like sweeping. And because if your guard pass is really good. What's going to happen is I'm going to go to my back, give you that.
Yeah.
And if I'm good at recovering, what's going to happen is I'm going to turn and come back in, which is going to allow me to get the sweep. You see what I mean? I can get the sweep now and come up. Now it's a situation where I'm passing and you're turning, giving the back.
Yeah.
See? You're turning like, away, turning away, and giving the back.
Right.
Now all you have to do is like come onto your hand and yeah, and now you like front roll, yeah, boom, and recover your guard. And now you can sweep in. This is how the game works. You get what I'm saying? It's going to be that battle. And in the middle of that, there's going to be scrambles where maybe you did come up to pass the guard, but I scrambled and pushed you out away, which has changed the whole match, changed the whole fight. So moving to answer your question, moving with agility and speed is how I feel in my heart that this is how guard passing should be done to showcase the best use of your technique. Obviously, there's people like Aaron, which, by the way, for every situation is not wrong. But there's people like Aaron where he doesn't use speed passing like me. What he does is he pressures you slowly, and passes using pressure passing. So it's not all about speed and that type of stuff, but you have to know when the time and placing is right. You have to know when to be slow and pressure passing and fast and agility. I wouldn't say one is better than the other, you need both. You need both, you need to know how to use your weight and you need to know how to use your power to go left and right.
Yeah.
So both is equally as important. So let's set the timer again. Last 2 minute round is going to be
me just trying to pass your guard basically.
you just trying to pass. Exactly. Okay. You just take me down. Let's go. Notice how I'm always trying to keep my feet close to my body. And my hands are used as frames. Good. I can see the pressure is there, but slow down because you're breathing. Like I can feel how anxious you are to get it done. Now, you can be strong and be quick, but don't rush. Okay. Don't rush it. When you see the opportunity, go, but don't feel like you have to get there just because it's the next step before you see the opening.
Gotcha.
You understand? So just like relax your mind a little bit and look out more for where you are. Where you are is past both legs.
Yeah.
All you have to do is beat this knee, so there's no need to rush.
Okay.
You just have to push the knee and you pass.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But because when you rush like this, you can't see that you're 90% passing my guard. So I don't need to be worried because I know you don't know where you are. You see what I'm saying? So all I have to do is just recover. Yeah. So be relaxed and quick, not anxious and like you're late for a lesson or something. You know what I mean? Like get out of that habit.
Like I'm rushing.
I'm rushing. And all you need to understand is the feet are going to be in the way. They're going to be in the way, and when they come in the way, maybe it just takes that 2 seconds. Slow down. Yeah. Let me see the feet. Where are they? Okay, they're both here. Boom. Now I can go quick. It's not all about going quick 24/7. Just when you need it. So like if you lay down for just to show you, when your feet are in front, I'm not going to be doing maxing to pass, but what I will be doing is faking to go one side so the foot comes over, so that it's easy for me to go this way. That's all, and that's the only bit that I'm moving quick in. I'm not like when I see the feet come over, I'm like okay, cool. Boom. That's the quick bit. Here. Boom, and then I just stay. And if he recovers, then I just jump to the other side. Boom. I stay. Maybe he recovers again. Like this, I top spin. And go to the back. So you have to expect the recovery to happen because that's where the exploitation in his gaps is going to be.
It's almost like keep knocking on the door rather than trying to pass it open.
Yeah. Exactly. Let's just do that one more time, please. And
relax.
Get out of it. What's the fun? Oh, God. Okay.
It's exactly recorded. Imagine it wasn't. Oh yeah, it is.
Okay, same again. Remember, beat the knees, beat the feet, and then you just have to concentrate on the hips. Don't be like overwhelmed by my feet coming back in. It's just part of the game. But look where you are though, look, stop, look where you are. Look, you're in a perfect position, you just got to throw my feet out the way and you pass. You see what I'm saying? Good. Nice. Now I'm using my frame now. You see? I'm pushing you away, creating distance. Good. Good. Yes, good. Nice. That's what I want to see. Nice. Look where you are now. Relax, relax. Yeah. Use this up, push me over. Good. Right. So yeah, relax, relax, relax. Good. Just know what you need to do and don't rush what you need to do. That's it. There we go. Nice. You see how, even though you didn't necessarily get the control you want, you still had the control over my hips.
Yeah.
Because now I couldn't move and come this way.
Yeah.
You see? So you had the control, and then you said, okay, let me go for the choke. And it worked. Okay? All from the guard pass.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Is what I'm saying. This is the important note here. That is the biggest scenario where your guard pass pressure is so great that he has to not just abandon defending, he has to abandon the whole frame and run.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even the threat after is just as great.
Yeah.
So he has to run. And that's what you want. You want him to be scared of that. Because that's going to expose his back, his arm, his feet, all the submissions that you want.
Yeah. And the thing is when you said, stop, see where you are.
Yeah.
Because I was like tunnel vision like that.
You get shots of this.
Yeah. But when you just stop, when like that, I went, oh, my hand's right there, his neck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to weave
Exactly.
through.
So obviously you have to, your mind has to be slower than the
What's
actions,
happening, yeah.
than what's happening. But you also have to be able to match the speed.
Yeah.
You can't complicate it up here.
Yeah.
It becomes a game of chess.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's happening next. You just have to make the right move one step before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because then you're going to get to the checkmate at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was the back. You know? So the whole point of me doing this, even from the fucking takedown, from the takedown, I want you to land in a way where your foot is biased a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Just so that I can be here. Because once I'm here, rather than here, or here, it's a greater threat.
Yeah.
You see? Because I'm all the way past both of his legs. I'm not quite over his top half, but you can already feel where I could go.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's what I need him to understand. I'm in control of the match, not you. Boom. And start sitting back for foot locks.
Yeah.
You know? Or I could even just dash the foot out of the way. Boom, and punch it. You know? All from that little, just being relaxed and understanding the situation. Before I take him down, what's going to happen? He's going to be framing, ready for the sprawl or his takedown. You just need to be aware of it before it happens, you know?
Oh, fantastic. I appreciate that, man.
That's all,
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time on that, man. Let's take a quick picture.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll post it up.
That's cool.
I'll take some stills from the video, man. I appreciate your time, bro. Thank you
Also,
very much, man.
anytime, bro,
I'm loving
listen.
it. Yeah, I'm loving it.
Obviously-
Same again next week, Sunday.
Yeah, bro, listen, whenever you're ready, because I want you to take this and use it as documentation. Go home, think about the things that you take away. I don't need you to take away all of this.
Yeah, yeah.
Just remember one or two basic things and grind that.
Yeah.
You know, get that muscle memory in, get that mental memory in, and then from there you can open up and see what's next. Oh, I remember what was next from the guard pass taking the back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For me, it was the shoot and the taking the back.
Yeah.
Was like the biggest things for me.
Yeah. You should always be trying to
Because the
respond.
suit, obviously, if I'm not winning striking now, then I'm going to want to get you on the ground.
Yeah, 100%. Because then you're playing a losing battle.
Yeah, exactly. If I shoot and I'm on the ground, I'm trying to get you back. And the thing is as well is just calming down. Because I go straight from like 25
Bro,
to
listen,
like,
you're part
oh,
of,
shit, what's
you're
going
part
on,
of the
what's going on?
general mass
Yeah.
of people. And this is the one thing that I like about Jiu-Jitsu. It doesn't just exploit how good you are at Jiu-Jitsu. It exploits your actual fears in real life and the things that you have going on. So it puts your goals and your fear's in one, and it demands you to say, do I give in to the fear, or do I smile in the adversity and become the best of who I can? Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So just understand that it's not bad to be scared or to be anxious when a lot is happening in front of your eyes. It's the awareness of when it happens, you can say, okay, this is happening. You just take a step back. And then what you'll find is every time you realise that this is happening, let me take a step back, it happens less. Because it's like it becomes a reaction, like when the door knocks, the dogs bark. It's just an alert to say someone's there, but because they've done it for so long, they're doing it without noticing. This is what the mentality you need to have for your mind and your body. Doing it without noticing, because then you're going to focus on less stuff. You're going to be less, I need to pass the guard. You're just going to be simplifying jiu-jitsu just to have fun. And the best things happen when you have fun, you know? So just try and like really calm down. I would also say go home and watch some jiu-jitsu as well. Definitely record your matches, because watching other people is different to watching yourself. Because then you can say, in the fight, I knew I'd done that, but I didn't realise it was a bad thing. Or do you get what I'm saying? You're going to start exploiting these things. So it's good that you brought the camera. Wherever you go in training, try and just hold down one corner of the mat and say, yo, let me bring a tripod, do my thing. Aaron's not going to say nothing. This is what they want you to do. They want you to say, they're teaching me a system. Let me understand this system and better myself from it. Let me see what else I can do. Instead of getting a C, let me get an A. You know what I'm saying? So
just in terms of my regime, so I'm doing this on a Sunday.
Yes.
I do the BJJ fundamentals twice a week. So Monday and Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday I do kickboxing.
So you're training at least 5 times a week, which is perfect. Don't go too much. Obviously understand.
Like right now I'm doing more jiu-jitsu or grappling and stuff, just simply because it's so cerebral.
That's fine. I mean,
understand it as well as be able to do.
You need a balance.
Kickboxing is like, you know what I mean?
Of course, it's more natural, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. And I feel like if you feel more instinctually natural towards kickboxing, maybe bias jiu-jitsu a little bit more, just to get both understandings up to match. Because then you're going to be comfortable in both areas, stand up and on the ground.
I've been doing kickboxing for about 2.5 years now, so I can spar now.
You know what we're doing.
Whereas jiu-jitsu I'm like, okay, I'm just surviving.
On the back
foot. I'm just trying to be a different person.
So I would definitely say get an understanding of what's good for you, what's bad for you, like what's working and what's not working. And try and follow a system or follow someone in terms of like leadership role who gives you what you're missing. You know, so just like how you said to me, I need some no-gi stuff potentially for the MMA fight. I showed you some no-gi stuff potentially with the options for the MMA fight. Now you can look back and say, okay, this worked, this didn't, let me move on from that, let me change this. What's next? The guard pass, the recovery. You know, so you're definitely going in the right steps. I would just not take myself away from physical training more, but add more mental capacity to the study.
Actually, okay, this is all.
Because it's not all about the stuff that we do on the mats or in the gym or in the cage. It's the stuff that when you go home after the 2-hour sparring session, you're like, bro, I just can't stop thinking about that match, all the things that are happening, what did I do wrong, I was so anxious. That's when the studying is really going to take place, because it's going to knock into you. You're going to be like,
No, fantastic. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Listen,
Great session. Great session.
Well, listen.
Yeah, it was great.